7:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Ballavarachi and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The President says that an education system that leads to create professionals suited to the current job market will be set up. Minister Susil Premajantha reveals the timelines of the 2023 GCE ordinary level and 2024 GCE advanced level examinations. The strike carried out by a collective of 72 health trade union continues today as well. 2 persons, including a 17-year-old, have reportedly drowned after their boat capsized in the Mahavali River. The government says eligible persons can send applications to be considered for the Aswasuma Social Benefits Program. In foreign news, Indonesia votes in world's biggest single-day election. And in sports, it's cricket. Sri Lanka and Afghanistan will play the final ODI match in a 3-match series at the Pallekele Stadium today. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that an education system that leads to create individuals suited to the current job market will be set up in the island. Education will be developed under a systematic plan with appropriate restructuring. The President made these remarks addressing a ceremony held at the St. Anthony's Girls' School in Kolupitia this morning. This was held to distribute free school uniforms and textbooks to students. The President further said that the burden of examinations on children will be eased by introducing new reforms. English knowledge among students will be enhanced. New universities and technical colleges will be set up to provide wider vocational training for school leavers. The economy has also come to the right path at present. The country can be steered to development and economic progress gradually. The government carries out social welfare programs even amidst the economic difficulties. The President also thanked the Chinese government for providing uniform materials at concessionary rates. Minister of Education Dr. Susil Premajantha said that the government spends 19 billion rupees annually for providing free uniforms and textbooks. School curriculum will be covered within the same year without postponing from this year onwards. Minister Susil Premajantha also revealed the timelines of the 2023 GCE ordinary level and 2024 GCE advanced level examinations. Accordingly, the ordinary level examination is planned to be held in May-June 2024 and the advanced level exam is in December 2024. The minister said the first term of schools for the academic year 2025 will thus begin on the 2nd of January next year. The strike action carried out by a collective of 72 health trade unions continues today as well. The talks held in this regard with the minister ended without a decision. However, the treatment services at the Cancer Hospital and Children's Hospital and emergency services are functioning as usual. The Public Services United Nurses Union held a discussion with President Ranil Wickremesinghe yesterday regarding demanding to provide them with an allowance similar to that of the disturbance availability and transport allowance given to doctors. The president of the union, Muruttutue Anandathero, told the media that the president promised to provide a solution to this matter by next Friday in this discussion. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
An extraordinary Gazette notification has been issued declaring health and public transport as essential services from yesterday. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has issued this announcement in terms of the powers vested under Section 2 of the Essential Public Services Act number 61 of 1979. As per the Gazette notification, all services work or labor or any description whatsoever necessary or required to be done in connection with the maintenance and the reception, care, feeding and treatment of patients in hospitals, nursing homes, dispensaries and other similar institutions have been declared as essential services with immediate effect. Police say that 2 persons, including a 17-year-old, have reportedly drowned after their boat capsized in the Mahaveli River in Kenya. According to police, the boat had capsized while a 17-year-old youth and a 35-year-old were fishing in a tributary of the river. Sri Lanka Navy has apprehended 2 suspects who were in possession of as many as 1,472 capsules of controlled drugs. The duo was nabbed in Mannar yesterday during a coordinated operation with the assistance of Mannar Division Crimes Investigation Bureau. The first suspect was taken into custody after a stop and search in Upukulam, Mannar, during which 20 pregabalin capsules were seized. While being interrogated, he had divulged information about an accomplice who was later apprehended in a separate operation conducted in the same area. The naval personnel also recovered 1,400 pregabalin capsules from a house and 20 more capsules inside a 3-wheeler. And that ends local news for now.
Elevate your life with People's Bank Excelsior. A comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
The Social Welfare Board of the Finance Ministry is calling for new applications for the second stage of the Aswesuma Social Benefit Program to select 400,000 more beneficiaries from tomorrow. Accordingly, eligible persons can send in their applications to be considered for the Aswesuma Social Benefit Program. Finance Ministry sources said that certain criteria for the selection of beneficiaries would be revised based on the suggestions made by various parties. The new Aswesuma beneficiaries who are entitled to receive this allowance are to be selected within the first quarter of this year, and they will receive the allowance starting from July. In line with this move, the government has taken the decision to increase the monthly allowance paid to disabled persons, kidney patients and elderly citizens from January 2024. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
In Watchlight this afternoon, the Wildlife Department warned the public to be vigilant when using rivers, lakes and canals in Colombo, as there was a high possibility of crocodiles languishing in these waters. Wildlife Conservation Department Director General Chandana Suryabandara says there might be a large number of crocodiles living in these rivers, lakes and streams in Colombo. Accordingly, Diyavarnava, Bolgoda Lake, South and Kalani Ganga are found to be the habitats of crocodiles for a long time. People are requested to be vigilant in using these waterways. And that came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
Headlines first. Indonesia votes in world's biggest single-day election. The U.S. House of Representatives votes to impeach Homeland Security Secretary, and severe weather battles the Australian state of Victoria. More than 200 million people over Indonesia's 17,000 islands and across 3 time zones are eligible to vote. The election will see voters choose their president, vice president and representatives in this legislature. The current frontrunner is former Defence Minister Prabowo Subianto, a retired general with a bad human rights record. It has prompted fears that Indonesia is in danger of sliding back towards its authoritarian past. The House of Representatives has narrowly voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, making him the first cabinet minister to face impeachment in nearly 150 years. Many Republicans blame Mr. Mayorkas for an unprecedented influx of migrants at the US-Mexico border. The Republican-led chamber voted 214 to 213 for the measure after the first attempt failed last week. The issue now heads to the Democratic-led Senate, where it is likely to fail. Nearly 500,000 homes were left without power in the Australian state of Victoria after a storm knocked out parts of the network. Videos posted online showed torrential rain and gale force winds uprooting trees and blowing the entire sheds away. One dairy farmer was killed. Authorities suspect he was struck by flying debris while on a tractor. The wild weather is also hampered efforts to fight massive bushfires in the state's west. Back to the headlines of the world news. Indonesia votes in world's biggest single-day election. The U.S. House of Representatives votes to impeach Homeland Security Secretary. And severe weather batters the Australian state of Victoria. And that ends world news. On to development news. Cabinet approval has been granted to implement a housing program for overseas employees. Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena yesterday said that Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment, in collaboration with the National Housing Development Authority and the licensed banks, have planned to implement a housing program to overseas employees. Accordingly, it is expected to grant a maximum of 10 million rupees as a concessional loan and contribute a portion of its loan interest amount by the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment. And that was development news.
Moving on with sports news.
Sri Lanka and Afghanistan will play the final one-day international match in the three-match series today at 2:30 p.m. at the Palekale Stadium in Kandy. With the series already in the Lankan pockets after winning the two matches, the third one will be about Afghanistan gaining some sort of momentum before the 2020 international series begins on Saturday. Sri Lanka completely outplayed the Afghan side in the second ODI and they will be eyeing a clean sweep, while Afghanistan will have to forget the loss and regroup quickly to get a consolation win. And that was sports news.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Agriculture Minister Mahinda Amaraveera says the paddy purchases will be made through the intervention of the government this time. However, the minister expressed that there are farmers who are facing a problematic situation regarding the prices of paddy. The minister asked the farmers to conduct all cultivation activities before the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
In economic news, leasing and debt installment payers voice concerns over central bank's silence regarding the questionable practices of unregulated online loan providers in Sri Lanka. Under the banner Association of Leasing and Debt Installment Payers, the group asserted that borrowers have no legal obligation to repay loans obtained from these unauthorized online lenders. Association's Deputy Secretary Asanka Sumedha Amarasinghe says that despite numerous complaints passed over the central bank, there has been no response, leading to suspicions that the officials may be benefiting from these institutions. And that was economic news.
Weather report.
The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in the eastern Nuwara provinces and in the Polonnaruwa, Matale and Nuwara Eliya districts. Showers may occur in the Hambantota and Anuradhapura districts. Showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in the Gaul and Mathura district after 2 p.m. Fairly strong winds, about 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, can be expected at times in the eastern slopes of the central hills and in the northern, north-central, southern, northwestern, Uva and eastern provinces. Well, that was the weather report, and prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines once again. The President says that an education system that leads to create professionals suited to the current job market will be set up. Minister Susil Premchandra reveals the timelines of the 2023 GCE ordinary level and 2024 GCE advanced level examinations. The strike action carried out by a collective of 72 health trade unions continues today as well. 2 persons, including a 17-year-old, have reportedly drowned after their boat capsized in the Mahavali River. The government says eligible persons can send in their applications to be considered for the Aswasuma Social Benefits Program. In foreign news, Indonesia votes in world's biggest single-day election. And in sports, Sri Lanka and Afghanistan will play the final ODI match in a 3-match series at the Pallekele Stadium today. Well, with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and handing over the microphone back to Dilshan Dimel on the other side to keep you company with the rest of the programs this afternoon. Over to you, Dilshan.